Mount Rushmore, South Dakota, greatest state and the greatest nation of all time. Last night, Donald Trump flew in to deliver an incredible speech. Some might say the greatest speech of all time. The speech seemed like a direct response to the mayor of New York, Zoran Mamdani's speech about what it means to be American on America's birthday. It was very strange. It felt like Donald Trump was directly responding to everything that he's seen on Fox News for the last week or so, for the last month or so, about the growth of democratic socialism, which is secretly actually radical revolutionary communism. He spoke about expelling and exiling communists, man. He was pressed. I don't know why. Let's take a look.
Loyal to Karl Marx, or you can be loyal to America. You can be a communist, or
Karl Marx, massive Ameriboo, loved the first Republican president, famously.
you can be a patriot. You cannot be both. As for those who peddle Marxist lies about our heritage, who tell our children that we live on stolen land or that our heroes were oppressors, they're doing something much worse than slandering our past. They are slandering and attacking our future. Not going to let that happen. They're trying to tear down the great American character, to destroy the people who declared independence, who crossed the Delaware, who settled the West, and who conquered the skies. You know who those people are. But we will never let that happen.
What's interesting about this is you are seeing Republicans for the first time ever retreat. For the first time ever, you are seeing Republicans take a defensive posture because the Democrats have not had a vision in the affirmative, right? Democrats, for the last 3-4 decades, since the Reagan era especially, have decided to play the defensive role. They are always telling you who they are not, who they oppose. They're never telling you who they are and what they stand for. Now that we have a different crop of Democrats, democratic socialists, who are coming out and saying, this is what we are for. This is the idealism that we want to represent. These are the policies that we want to implement. We are fighting for the working class, and that's precisely what we're going to do. That's the agenda that we have. That's our focus. All of a sudden, the Republicans have to play defense against that. Instead of coming out and running the gamut on a litany of different culture war issues that they have seen tremendous success on, and then have the Democratic Party in its entirety run against those culture war issues by conceding on a lot of the hysteria to say, oh, we're just going to be a little bit more, we're going to be a little bit less vicious to trans people, and that's why you should vote for us. Instead of doing that, we're having that battle on our terms. That's what's causing the Republican Party and its messaging apparatus to all of a sudden turn around and identify that there are such things as normal Democrats, capitalist Democrats. It turns out there is a distinction, but that's a good thing.
Did not shed their blood at Concord and Trenton, Gettysburg and Shiloh, Midway and Normandy, just so that a band of thieves, radicals, and lunatics could come in and loot, pillage our nation. Our heroes died to win, build, and to save, and to build truly a great country, the greatest country ever in the world.
Most people that are under the age of 40 or even 65, really, have mostly known a world devoid of communism, right? They've mostly known a world where the USSR doesn't exist and that America is the domineering force. And maybe in the early 90s, they thought, oh, it's over. This is fantastic. We won. Permanent growth. It's here. But very quickly after that period of excitement, did people realize that things were actually devastating? We have suffered from our success. So you can't really make a convincing argument that we have to be terrified, especially because the major communist world power right now is China. And China, whether we find this to be appropriate or not, has been deliberately anti-militarist in its foreign policy. It's much more difficult to present this like big, scary menace of communism because in the age of the internet, people can just look at what's going on in China and realize that the conditions in China are objectively good. The trajectory of China is objectively positive. And you look at America, on the other hand, you look at our hollowed out institutions, our ghost towns that once used to be places of industry. Meanwhile, you look at China and their rural areas, their rural villages that may not have had working sewage systems a decade ago, now have robot delivery, unbelievable infrastructure, unbelievable development. They are on an upwards trajectory. We are not, and everyone can see it. So you can't really point to China and be like, well, don't you think we should oppose China? Don't you think we should be fearful of China? Most people are going to be like, I don't care, man. Just give me healthcare, please. What the fuck is going on? What would Ross think of this? Trump stood at the Six Grandfathers came Mount Rushmore last night and told America that anyone who says it was built on stolen land is spreading Marx's lies about our heritage. He said, the people who tell our children that we live on stolen land are doing something much worse than slandering our past. They're attacking our future. He called them a band of thieves, radicals, and lunatics. No, Trump, you're wrong. Yeah, it's kind of ironic to do that. Saying that these are lunatics, a band of thieves, radicals, and lunatics. Like, oh, you mean the settlers? Like, that's kind of, you're literally standing atop the the stolen goods, if you will. So let's be direct about it since you weren't. Yes, the United States of America is stolen land. It was founded through genocide, oppression, and dispossession of the people who are already here. That's not a Marxist talking point. That's the historical record.
50 years. What do we see? We see a city of contradictions within a nation of contradictions. We see the wealthiest country in the history of the world, one where children go to sleep hungry while the world's first trillionaire hungers for more. We see a nation whose immense wealth has been built by those with calloused, dirt-streaked hands, those who toil on factory floors and chisel into stone. And we see a nation that has allowed so much of that wealth to be held instead in the soft hands of a precious few.
We're the most giving nation. What is he talking about?
It's truly mind-boggling. America has done more to ensure freedom and opportunity and prosperity for everyone, not just here in our...
Yeah, here's the problem. That argument rings hollow. Maybe for the boomers that watch Fox News, they'll be like, hell yeah, we are the most giving nation. I love Americans love fucking putting that up. To be like, oh, we're the most charitable nation on the planet. Fuck you, brother. First of all, you literally killed U.S. aid, and you loved every moment of that. That was number one. That's been devastating for a lot of the countries that were built to rely on America's fake charitable contributions that actually eviscerated their domestic agricultural output while simultaneously making them reliant on our farm subsidized agricultural output. But then also on top of that, Zoran isn't even talking about like the most charitable nation, America, and USAID. He's talking about how callous hands built the value that stays at the top of America in the hands of soft, buttery billionaires, forcing Zoran to be the figurehead of the entire Democratic Party is an unbelievable gift. Oh my God, these guys are so bad. Positioning Zoran Mamdani being like, America's a nation of immigrants, and that's what's so beautiful about America, and I love America, and all these immigrants also love America. We love America. And then on the other side, having like ugly ass Donald Trump stumbling into this moment and being like, you know who I hate? Communism, like that fucking Zoran Mamdani. Oh my God. I don't want to say anything at this point. I don't want to say anything at all. Is only going to benefit us. It's going to benefit the DSA. It's even going to benefit the Democratic Party. It's free ball. Anyway, there is one guy who's aware of what we're up to, and I don't like it. I don't like being noticed by him. But he's also noticed the Zoran Mamdani thing. Steve Bannon reacted to the Mamdani speech. He said, if you dismiss the guy, you're missing something. It's not just this guy. It's the team around him. He warns Republicans not to underestimate the movement behind him. Says, you're going to have to use your agency.
Mamdani just gave you a lesson in rhetoric. And the reason I played that live, this is quite serious. If you dismiss this guy and dismiss the people around him and dismiss the money in back of him, you are missing something that's more powerful than Obama. And it's not just this guy. It's the team around him. They offer free rent. They offer, cheap food. They offer this. It's very appealing. And what he does is play on the symbols of America to say, hey, we're actually more America. We represent the true narrative. This is what you're going to have to combat.
Steve Bannon understands what Zoran is doing here and is very frustrated with it, very worried about it, it seems. But Donald Trump positioning himself against Zoran Mamdani in this way is good for us. It's very good for us, especially because Zoran is very charismatic. So, shouts out to Donald Trump talking about communism in this way. I don't think this is actually going to win him any favors with a lot of liberals and a lot of people in the margins who despise him. He is a repulsive figure, and he is an odious figure. He is everything that's wrong with late stage capitalism, everything that's wrong with America right now. He is so perfectly representative with everything that he does, with every breath he takes, which is precisely the reason why when he actually places the crosshairs on a political movement that he calls communism, I don't think this is going to be bad for the Democratic Socialists of America. I think it's going to be very good for us.